Passmore's University, a technology-focused university based in Kent, is looking to update its information system into one integrated, secure and resilient source with which its students and departments can view timetables, examination results and emergency contact details. Implementing the system in a 3-tier format will bring benefits like faster loading times while students interact with the client, easier scalability and maintenance, and increased security, all of which are essential for a smooth student experience. jQuery is a comprehensive JavaScript library that simplifies coding on the presentation and logic tier and speeds up loading times, making complex tasks such as Ajax easier. jQuery's flexibility and cross-platform support also makes it ideal for a university information system, allowing simple maintenance and access for students on laptops and mobile devices so that data is accessible anywhere at any time.
Passmore's University is a large university consisting of roughly 15,000 international students. It's technology focused, with every degree being linked to technology in some way. An increase of 500 students year by year is expected, and an additional 5 degrees being added. The main issues are to update the technological functionalities of their system, integrating students' academic and administrative record, which would be made accessible to both students and staff. The new system is a vital component in offering students the best educational experience regarding their degrees. Requirements of Passmore's University include full student profiles, points, name, photo, attendance, and more that can be built on year by year. An academic and administrative record accessible to each student and certain staff. It needs to be scalable for 15,000 students. Each profile needs to be secure, and the system needs to be resilient. The system also needs to be interactive and updated regularly. Interactivity happens on the client side. jQuery enables large amounts of information to be input without having to reload pages. jQuery also enables disabled students to access their profiles in a number of ways. Finally, existing PU software developers know how to use JavaScript, so integrating jQuery is logical and efficient.
What is 3-tier? 3-tier architecture is a client-server computer model with 3 main components, usually divided into separate physical platforms. The client or presentation tier is the top level on a website and is what the user views and interacts with. This tier translates tasks and data into a form friendly and easy to understand for the user. The application or logic tier controls the functionality and processes behind an application, making it run. It calculates, processes and evaluates data, which it retrieves and sends between the other 2 layers. The database tier contains the database servers where information is stored and retrieved by the application tier. Why use 3-tier architecture? The main advantage of using 3-tier architecture is that it separates the presentation layer from the application layer. This means that the top tier, such as a web browser, only has to deal with handling the presentation and user interface, reducing its workload and increasing the speed of the application. Additionally, if the system needs to be expanded or upgraded as new technology is introduced or the system requirements change, more middle tiers can be easily added to deal with an increase in processes. More database storage can also be added to the data tier if needed. Overall, this means different components of the system can be replaced without all the tiers being affected.
What is jQuery? jQuery is a collection of pre-written JavaScript methods in which tasks that would normally require a large amount of code can often be written with a single line of code. It also simplifies some of the more complicated aspects of JavaScript, such as Ajax calls, which means exchanging and updating data without needing to reload the page. JavaScript is used in order for jQuery to be accessed. One of the examples of jQuery features is found in the jQuery website, which is when users move the mouse over the tab options, a small box appears around the title selected. jQuery can be implemented into 3-tier architecture, particularly in the middle tier and presentation tier. It is used in the middle tier where the logic is carried out. In the Passmore's University systems, jQuery is used to retrieve and process students' profile data from the data tier before presenting it to the users on the presentation tier. In the presentation tier, when combined with HTML, jQuery allows complex appearance and design of the user's interface of Passmore University's new systems to be carried out easily. This will speed up the loading time of pages, providing an improved experience for students. jQuery is not usually being used in organizing and formatting of data on the database tier. Passmore University can use jQuery in the student profile page, which contains a list of students' records where teachers can scroll through the list. For example, by hovering over Adele Burton's name, a small window pops up on the left where they can see his picture and basic information without the page having to reload itself. Passmore University can also use jQuery features to build other pages on its systems, such as the login page, examination result page, and student contact details page.
jQuery strengths. It is flexible and easy to use. This provides convenience in creating the system, making the code aspect easier and more flexible by using sets of code from jQuery JavaScript library. This thus saves hours of time and money for Passmore University software developers. Wide range and open source library. This makes it a lot quicker in the development process to create websites and is very beneficial to Passmore University. Passmore University software developers have access to a wide range of over 2,000 plugins of code. This is thanks to the open source community that jQuery has. Free tutorials. Since jQuery is free, this makes it beneficial for Passmore University as staff costs can be reduced by less time being spent on developing the website and reducing the total amount of hourly wages. Security and efficiency of the written code. Since jQuery is lightweight and fast, this keeps the code at a limited level, making the bandwidth load faster. This therefore improves the website performance for Passmore University and enables the students and staff to access it quicker without wasting their time. AJAX support. AJAX templates can be developed easily using jQuery, resulting in a well-designed Passmore University system interface, enabling actions to be performed without having to reload the whole page. This is seen in the example of the student profile system shown on the previous slide whenever you hover your mouse over the student names. Extendable and reusable plugins. jQuery allows a section of codes to be written in the form of plugin that can be easily reused on many pages. As a result, this can make the appearance and behavior across the Passmore University system sites to be consistent and can reduce maintenance process as there is only one single copy of the codes to test and update. Cross-browser compatibility. jQuery is able to operate on a variety of browsers and devices, making web pages all look the same. This allows different students and staff to use different web browsers at their preference, such as Mozilla Firefox, Safari, etc. And so this brings convenience to them without affecting their accessibility to access the website. jQuery weaknesses. Multiple versions of jQuery. Since there are many versions of jQuery, some versions are incompatible with each other, such as jQuery animation with browser compatibility. This means Passmore University's technical staff will have to either host the library themselves whilst continuously updating it, or load the library from Google and risk incompatibility with their code as new versions are released. This therefore puts a strain on their staff, which can possibly make the website inaccessible for the students. Slow and time-consuming. When using jQuery for animations, it can result in slow response times and animations lagging behind when the user actually clicks or hovers their mouse over them, putting a strain on the execution and development of the Passmore University website and hindering the website performance for students and staff. Open source library and lack of guidance. Since jQuery isn't built to a common standard, this can cause a major problem if the application is faulty, especially when time is limited to improve the code and that online technical support can be difficult to find. This means that if Passmore University's system undergoes technical software issues, which the staff cannot solve, Passmore University may be limited to either seeking online help or hiring a technical expert to solve the issue. Limited features. This puts a strain on Passmore University's staff in creating the website, as jQuery does not secure all of website customization needs, as it is limited. This means that it may be simpler and more beneficial for the university to just use JavaScript and not bother with the additional hassle of dealing with jQuery, since it may not be able to perform all the functions that the university is required for its new system. Alternatives to jQuery. Passmore University should be aware of the fact that jQuery may not be the most effective way in creating the best system. There are other alternatives such as Prototype, Ext, Dojo Toolkit, and MooTools. This shows that other softwares may actually be better than jQuery, as jQuery, as mentioned before, has limited features which other softwares may not have.
In conclusion, jQuery and three-tier architecture are beneficial to PU for all the reasons mentioned earlier, the main benefits being system functionality, efficiency, performance, and compatibility. Other improvements include security and maintenance, enabling updates and changes to be made without affecting the client side. This is mainly handled due to the 3 levels in three-tier architecture and some functions of jQuery. There are certain weaknesses, however, to jQuery, but we feel the advantages it brings will contribute to PU's long-term performance in offering students the best quality education surrounding technology.